First of all, may I say I do apologise if I'm very nervous and anxious. I feel very privileged to speak with all of you today about a very special person in so many people's lives. And I just hope that some of the words I say will reach out to you in some way. As I say, please forgive me if I leave anything out, but it is here in my heart, as it is in all yours. I know Pauline would actually say to me, it's nothing to be worried about, Sharon, just do your best. And I don't want to let her down. When I first met Pauline, we were just acquaintances, really passing in the street. And even if I was really feeling down, there'd be a bright smile that would actually meet my eyes and make me feel better. And I didn't even know her name. But one day my young daughter decided that she wanted to go to the shop. I needed some tomatoes. And I finally agreed. She was 8 years old and somewhat adamant, and she wanted to go and see the nice lady with a smile. So I gave her a note asking for a pound of tomatoes. And my daughter Claire was adamant that it was £11 of tomatoes. Refused to give Pauline the note, and my daughter came home with £11 of tomatoes. Quickly, I returned to the shop with Claire, thinking, why on earth would somebody give her £11 of tomatoes when she only has a few coins on her? Greeted me was Pauline's smile, and even more was her laugh. She laughed and she asked me, did I need a recipe for tomato and basil soup? Because cooking was one of her joys. Thankfully, she took the tomatoes back and I went with £1 and a new friend. So tomatoes are very special to me. They remind me of making my very, very special friend. So I forgive my daughter for not listening to me and buying me £11. When Pauline found out she was ill, she told me on the phone that her first question to the doctor was, am I going to die? And when he told her he couldn't possibly answer that, she quickly said, but I can't, people need me. And that in itself, I think, sums Pauline up pretty well. There were no tears for herself. It was for people that she loved, people that needed her. I don't think I could be that selfless. I think I would be thinking of myself a little bit more than that. Pauline's faith was so strong. And I spent time with her in hospital. I wasn't there when she died, but her brother Stephen and his wife Rachel were. And Pauline died very peacefully. And I know that everybody here today helped Pauline. Your prayers and your love helped Pauline cope and face death. She wasn't frightened of dying. She was more frightened of those she left behind. Becoming a nanny was perhaps, other than having her 2 children, was the proudest day for both Pauline and Richard. And that was one thing that Pauline was very, very upset about, that she wouldn't see her grandson grow up. She made me promise that I would always maintain contact with both Joanna and Nicola and Ryan. She already had said to me that she knows the church are always there with welcome arms, as are her other friends. And I really want you to know that, because Pauline carried you in her heart with her, and your prayers really did help her. And I'm sure that little Ryan will grow up with memories of his nanny, and he'll have some of his nanny, or a lot of his nanny's goodness in his heart. Just the concept of family. Family was so important to Pauline, but like most parents, it wasn't always easy, particularly so with meeting Nicola's needs. I had a phone call from Pauline telling me that Nicola had eaten a frozen chocolate gâteau. So I thought I'd go over there and see what's happened. Well, Pauline's decor had been changed, so had Nicola's clothes. But Nicola was standing there with clean hands and a smile on her face. In Nicola's world, she's smiling at her mum, thinking, well, what's the problem? My hands are clean. Pauline wasn't angry for very long. She just laughed. And that takes a special kind of person, let alone mother, to be able to do that. And stay positive no matter what any situation was thrown at Pauline. Now, I didn't know Pauline before she was married. So, what I know is from what Pauline and some of her friends have told me. Richard was actually Pauline's toy boy. And she was very, very proud of that. It didn't matter how many years younger he was than her, she was very proud of that. We had quite a few chats about how glamorous she liked to look, how important it was to her, because how was she going to keep her toy boy if she didn't? And it always made me laugh because everything Pauline did was for somebody else, not for herself. Last year, Pauline went with a school friend, Carol, to Greece to see another friend who unfortunately isn't able to be with us today. Her name's Norma, and she's asked me to say hello to you all, and again she's praying and she's thinking of all of us, particularly Richard, Joanna and family. Carol and Pauline went to Greece and they had a lovely, lovely holiday. Pauline actually managed to come back without any injuries this time, which previously, when I picked her up, she'd had an injury. It was meant to be, because Carol hadn't been with Pauline to see Norma, and I'm so pleased that those three special people had a chance to spend time together. Spending time with her friends was extremely important to Pauline, and I think looking around the room today, I don't know how she fitted us all in. I knew she had a big heart, but my goodness me, it was even bigger than I knew it was. And I feel very, very privileged to have had Pauline in my life. I'd like to thank Pauline and Richard's family for the way that they have welcomed all of us and allowed us to celebrate Pauline's life as well as the grief that we're all feeling. Because together, I think we are stronger, and Pauline would be very, very proud to see us all here with her family as well as Richard's. Pauline's other family is of course the Skylark Church. Pauline's late mother Barbara was a Mormon, and Pauline and I had quite a few conversations about that. Pauline usually trusted God, and his love for her was totally unconditional. I'm confident that Pauline knew Pete Sims was with her, often while she was ill in intensive care, praying for her and for the family. I'd like to thank Pete for that, and also every member of the church that was praying for her, and for their devotion to Richard and to Joanna and Ryan throughout this difficult time. I know she loved each and every one of you in her own way. When I saw her holding baby Percy a couple of months ago, I saw a very, very strong bond between, and I hope I have the name right, between Janice and his nanny. And anyone that was there could clearly see that, the love that Pauline had. There's so many other things that I could talk to you about, but I think I'll probably be here all day because there's so many things that could be said. But I would also like to say how proud I am of a special young lady, Joanna, the way she has dealt with her grief. And I know that her mum would want me to say that in front of everybody here. And for Joe to know that we are here for you and for Ryan. When you leave here today, there are some candles in little bags at the back of the church, and there's some seeds. They were gifts from Nicola, Joanna and Ryan. Because we couldn't bring Nicola to the church today, Joanna thought it would be nice to bring something here for you all to take away with you, so Nicola is included in her mum's funeral. I don't know if there'll be enough, but I hope there is. Now, somewhere I have... Last thing before the very end is I would very, very much like to thank Stephen. Stephen is Pauline's youngest brother. He has the same name as my husband, actually, Stephen Smith, so that's quite lucky. Along with William and David and Jill, trying to get everything organised and do everything the right way for Pauline, to make sure that Richard and Joanna are looked after. Steve has done so very much and pulled us all in together. Each member of the family has done something in their own way, but we always need a leader, the same as the church needs a leader, and we have that with Pete. We've needed a leader, and Steve has taken that position. Finally, and I speak for us all, the Pauline is greatly missed, but even as we gather to say goodbye, we know she will always remain in our hearts. Memories are ours forever, and many new ones will be made today. In time, these memories will bring comfort, knowing that Pauline is always going to be remembered. She was loved by so many, and she will continue to be so. Being Pauline's friend has greatly enriched my life, and I am sure it has to all her friends, and of course her family. I would just like to close with the well-known words, but I think they're very, very true and very apt for our dear Pauline. And that is, to live in the hearts of those we love means never to die. And Pauline is now at peace.